Throughout history, philosophers, mystics, and even scientists have been intrigued by the profound connection between the mind and the material world. It's been suggested that our minds can directly shape our physical reality, a concept that has not only captivated ancient wisdom traditions, but also even piqued the interest of the modern New Age movement. The secret knowledge behind manifestation has long been guarded by esoteric societies. But have you ever wondered how the process of manifestation works? In this episode, I will draw on various sources, scholars, as well as ancient esoteric wisdom in order to unravel the proposed mechanisms through which our minds manifest reality. Carl Jung, a renowned psychologist celebrated for his profound contributions to the field, delved deeply into the psyche's role in manifestation. Jung explored the phenomenon of synchronicities, or meaningful coincidences that seemingly cannot be explained by conventional causality. Jung illustrated an example of such a synchronicity by recounting one incident that took place during a therapy session with one of his patients. During this session, Jung's patient was discussing a dream she had about her receiving a golden scarab, a symbol of rebirth. As she described her dream, a scarab-like beetle tapped on the window and entered the room, mirroring the dream's content in real time. Jung argued that such events are too specific and improbable to occur by mere chance or direct cause, and suggested instead that they must be orchestrated by a deeper, as yet unidentified principle. He later identified this principle as the collective unconscious, which not only influences our inner psychic state, but also manifests the physical world. Jung supported his claim by citing multiple studies that prove the validity of parapsychological phenomena. Jung proposed that the physical world is essentially a collective dream crafted by a single global collective unconscious. He argued that matter and psyche are not separate entities. Instead, they are both simply manifestations of the same underlying essence. Specifically, to Jung, the collective subconscious manifests reality. As taken from the book Decoding Jung's Metaphysics by Bernardo Kastrup, for Jung, the external physical world and the collective unconscious are one and the same thing, presenting itself to us in two different ways. Both impinge on ego consciousness, generating autonomous imagery we can witness but not control. Put simply, the supposedly material substrate underlying perception isn't material at all. It is the collective unconscious itself. So, Jung had derived the idea that the psyche and physical reality are not distinct entities, but are manifestations of a single underlying reality, the collective subconscious. In other words, the collective subconscious manifests reality. At first glance, this idea seems ridiculous. However, the truth is this concept finds robust support throughout time from several key sources from the realms of Hermeticism, Esotericism, and even practical magic. For example, the Kybalion, a foundational text in Hermetic philosophy, introduces the principle of mentalism, which asserts that the all is mind. This principle posits that everything, visible and invisible, is a part of a singular, infinite mind. In addition, the ancient Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, further suggests that everything that happens on any level of reality, physical, mental, or spiritual, corresponds and is connected to all other levels. This Hermetic view supports the idea that the physical universe and the psyche are simply different manifestations of the same fundamental reality, the collective mind or universal consciousness. This heavily mirrors Jung's idea that the collective subconscious manifests our physical reality. In addition, Eliphas Levi, a prominent figure in 19th century occultism, contributed significantly to the concept of the astral light, which he described as a luminous medium that permeates all space and serves as the mold for all forms that manifest in the physical plane. Levi proposed that this light is directly influenced by human thoughts and emotions, and in turn subsequently shapes our physical world. According to Levi, the astral light is both a repository and a transmitter of the images and desires projected by the collective psyche, thus acting as a bridge between the mind's inner workings and the external world. This all-permeating aspect of the astral light which molds our physical plane, heavily mirrors Jung's concept of a single unifying collective subconscious which manifests our physical reality. Additionally, the law of one, channeled by LL Research, presents a cosmology where all of our existence is fundamentally unified. In this work, it is proposed that all things are manifestations of a single infinite creator or consciousness, which it terms as intelligent infinity. It emphasizes that individual consciousnesses are part of a larger collective consciousness which interacts with and co-creates reality through its thoughts and perceptions. This view aligns extraordinarily well with Jung's idea that the physical world and the psychic world are interconnected through the collective subconscious, with each individual's consciousness contributing to the tapestry of physical reality. Adding to this, Sigil magic, an occult practice which goes back thousands of years, asserts that not only does the subconscious mind communicate to us through symbols in dreams, but we can also communicate back to the collective subconscious through symbols as well. One researcher who publicized this idea is Frater Yu. Frater Yu said that by focusing on a symbolized version of an idea, or sigil, one can channel their will and intention through into the subconscious, which would then manifest their desires in the material world. This idea forms the basis of sigil magic, which we will cover in an upcoming episode. For now, it is fascinating to recognize the striking similarities between ancient occultic views and more modern perspectives by psychologists like Carl Jung, who similarly stated that the collective subconscious manifests reality. So, we've proposed that the subconscious can manifest reality, but how exactly does this occur? In Decoding Jung's Metaphysics, Kastrup offers a fascinating explanation by exploring Carl Jung's ideas about the collective subconscious and its interactions with the quantum realm. Kastrup suggests that the collective subconscious might influence the probability fields that govern quantum particles, similar to the butterfly effect in chaos theory, where a butterfly flapping its wings in one part of the world could indirectly cause a tornado in another. Minor disturbances at the quantum level can lead to significant observable phenomena in the larger world. This interplay is understood through quantum mechanics' inherent probabilistic nature, which posits that even seemingly insignificant quantum events can trigger larger-scale changes, effectively shaping the reality we experience. This theoretical framework is exemplified in the book through a thought experiment involving coin flips. In the thought experiment, imagine flipping a coin multiple times. Each flip seems to be a random event with no apparent connection to the previous flip. The outcome of each flip, heads or tails, appears purely stochastic, and locally there seems to be no discernible pattern or predictability. However, if one were to step back and view a large number of coin flips on a global scale over a long period of time, a pattern may start to emerge. For example, the specific positions of head results around the world may start to resemble a meaningful pattern. This is similar to what we observe when examining particles at the quantum level. Specifically, at a local level, we observe seemingly random fluctuations in quantum state with no discernible pattern. However, this does not negate the idea that, on a global scale, these seemingly random quantum fluctuations may indeed be pushing the macro into a less random, more discernible purpose. This model proposes that the collective subconscious can subtly guide the accumulation of random events towards a meaningful order, thus manifesting its influence on physical reality through a series of seemingly isolated quantum actions. Kastrup goes on to criticize modern Newtonian physics, which has proven to only work on the macroscopic level and to fail to hold at the microscopic quantum level. This is because Newtonian physics effectively models statistically aggregate phenomena of the macro, meaning it often fails to capture the nuances of individual quantum events. For instance, while Newtonian physics would not typically predict a billiard ball spontaneously moving on its own, quantum mechanics allows for such a microscopic probability. But because Newtonian physics simply models aggregate statistical behavior on a macro scale, It simply pretends that such an event is impossible and therefore does not account for such a possibility in its models. Now, I'm not saying you can use your mind to move billiard balls on their own, though some spiritual scholars may disagree. What I am saying is that using certain actions and thoughts, one may be able to imprint into the collective subconscious strongly enough to bring about subtle changes here and there on a global scale so as to, over time, help bring their desires into the physical world. And this is what is known as the process of manifestation. As we wrap up today's exploration on the Esoteric Nomad podcast, we've journeyed through the profound interconnections between the collective subconscious and the fabric of our physical reality. Drawing from Carl Jung's deep psychological insights, the ancient wisdom of Hermetic principles, and even more modern quantum mechanics, we see that the world around us is not merely a meaningless collection of random events, but a manifestation of our innermost thoughts and of a collective universal consciousness. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest episodes. Join us next time as we continue to unravel the deeper truths hidden beneath the surface of our everyday lives.